We'll give it one more minute.
Yeah, we're just checking on someone who was supposed to be getting on.
Make sure you are close. Tim, you muted. We can't hear you.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
We're waiting for something major to happen here, so everybody's gone silent. Wonderful. Let's see. Lovely.
Okay, ladies and gents, let's get started. I'm sure there'll be some more people coming on as we get going, but I just wanted to say welcome and thank you very much for joining us this evening on this Tuesday. It's my pleasure to introduce the speaker today, Mr. Tim Wagner, who is a very good friend of mine, has got some incredible stories about what he's going to talk about this evening. He may share some of that with you. But Tim is also a coach. He's a wellness coach, a breathwork coach, an incredible speaker. So you're in for a real treat this evening. So what we're going to do is I'll hand it over to Tim just now. We'll run through a quick presentation. Please feel free while we have the presentation on. If you do have questions, you can put them in the questions in the chat. And then afterwards, I will hand over to a couple of fantastic people who have very kindly offered to give their testimonial. Two wonderful ladies this evening, and which is, I think we're about even on the call tonight, which you'll be able to get a first-hand understanding of what these patches are actually doing. And without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Mr. Tim Wagner. Over to you, Tim.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it. Wonderful to see you folks all here this evening. And what I'm going to share with you, when I first saw it, I didn't take notice, to be honest with you. It was interesting, and I've been in the health and wellness space for quite a few years now. It sort of did catch my attention, but I didn't do anything about it until my son needed help. Now, my son's now 30, and for the last 7 years, he's had debilitating diabetes. Type 1 diabetic, body didn't like insulin. He had to move in with us in January of this year because life was just not possible for him. And effectively 5 nights a week or 5 days a week, he'd be bedridden. He had 6 diabetic comas over the past 7 years, and life has been really, really tough for him. And then a friend of ours, Chris, who introduced me to what we're going to share about, said, Tim, try this. Try this. That's the size of a 5 Rand coin if you're in South Africa, tiny little 2 centimeters in radius. It may help. And so we started to patch him, exactly what I'm going to share with you. 7 weeks afterwards, now remember, 7 years, debilitating diabetes. 7 weeks later, after wearing this patch, he came to me and he said, Dad, I've got hope again. Now, if you're a parent and you've effectively have your child, but he's like the living dead, literally, and they come back and they say this, do you take notice? Because I did. Serious. And that's when I started to add it to the protocol of my clients. And wow. So I'm going to jump on and share with you. And later on, you're going to hear some more stories. So let's climb in. And the question on the screen is, have you been patched yet? Now, my objective is to get you to the point of going, why have I not heard about this before? And how do I get them? So let's climb straight into this. We're talking about stem cell activation. And if you're going, well, I've heard of a stem cell, but I don't know really what it does. That was me exactly. I failed biology at school, guys. I love health and I love fitness, but I didn't really know what a stem cell was. So we're going to talk about this just now, why it's important. And you can read what it says on the screen over here, that I've actually been started working through LifeWave and the stem cell technology we're talking about, 2 doctors. And both of these doctors independently said to me, stem cells is the future of medicine. Now, these are doctors. These are people who are in the industry. They've been in the medical industry for decades, both of them. And they're identifying and going, stem cell research is now to the point that it is the future of medicine.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using LifeWave. David Schmidt, our founder, creative force, and world-class inventor behind LifeWave technology, has recently achieved something in the field of regenerative science with a single LifeWave patch that researchers worldwide, spending years and billions of dollars, could not. Introducing LifeWave X39. The world's first product ever to activate stem cells. A true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state in a way no other product can. The secret? By harnessing the power of LifeWave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one LifeWave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. Instead of older and less effective stem cells, X39 supports the production of younger and healthier stem cells. This amazing level of control over your vitality and well-being was simply not possible, let alone this easy, until now. And the best part? Like all LifeWave patches, X39 is safe, non-invasive, and incredibly cost-effective. Look what people are saying about LifeWave X39. Backed by clinical studies, multiple patents, and 20 years of development, any one of these benefits would be impressive. But X39 is so effective, it can influence everything about your body. How you look, feel, perform, and heal. It's time you experience the power of X39.
Right. So let's have a look a bit now. We're understanding why we need these stem cells, that it's the building block of our entire physiology. So why this X39 stem cell activation patch? Well, as the video says, as we age, we start to heal slower. This is where you get lifestyle diseases coming in and all those aches and pains, or maybe a sports injury from when you were playing rugby or hockey when you were a teenager. And now suddenly when you're 50, that pain has come back because your body remembers it. But the healing hasn't happened fully. So as we then age, things start to ache and break and pains and inflammation. So as a teenager, you got all of these stem cells. We're happy you got break something, it fixes. You cut yourself, you mend. But then as we start to get towards the 60s, that number has dropped by 90%. So imagine, what if there was a way naturally, no drugs, no chemicals, no additives thrown in. You're not taking anything. You're not taking medication. Your body could be told, hey, let's wake up those dormant stem cells. We need them. The benefits. This is what you get out of this. So we got the why we need these stem cells. But why is it valuable for you? Well, are you suffering from pain? What about mental clarity? You can read on the screen over here. So for me, I'm a high-functioning guy. I'm a business guy. I love activities and going out, but I have no real inflammatory issues in my body. I'm blessed. I'm fairly healthy. So I thought I needed to see what patching with this little guy would do. 2 things happen. Number 1, more energy. The second, better mental clarity. Now, I haven't had brain fog for years, but I never realized that I could have even more clarity. So that to me was just profound in itself. So whatever your physical well-being needs are, because this is healing at a cellular level, it starts to treat things that even you didn't know could be beneficial for you. And what it's called is the Holy Grail of anti-aging. Now, there's a GHKCU, don't worry about the technical things. What this little patch does is it activates what is known as copper peptides. And this is done through these organic nanocrystals. So inside this tiny little patch, there's this formula that David Schmidt has found that works on phototherapy. Phototherapy is light therapy. You go into the sun, you are receiving phototherapy. We know it as your body activates vitamin D. So we need this, we know. Now, we are light energy beings. So David Schmidt was saying, well, what if he could harness the light energy, that frequency that activates the copper peptides? And that's what he's done through these nanocrystals. So it's formulated to activate these copper peptides, which are inside your body, which then activates the dormant stem cells. No drugs, no stimulants, no transdermal, meaning there's nothing going in. So if you are on any medication that you do need, then it's not going to impact with that. But please, by all means, understand, I'm not here to diagnose. I'm not a medical practitioner. So if you have any concerns, then do go to your doctor. But the key thing here to understand is that nothing going in, and it's all natural, so it's non-invasive. So what are the long-term benefits? And one of the key questions I get a lot of the time is, how long do you have to use this for? Well, when you first start using it, some people find very quick results, and you'll hear some testimonials. But for many, or the majority, it takes a bit of time. So there is a process that I'll explain to you that we use going through. But at a cellular level, the science has shown, and I'll show you some of those pictures just now, the science has shown that your genes begin to reset. Now, you may not notice a difference because the healing happens on the inside. It's taken decades for your body to get to the state it is now. Don't expect a get well quick scheme like this. Those, they don't last, because here we're talking about healing. Within 6 weeks, brain becomes more balanced, better brain coherence. Collagen for the ladies, huge thing. Collagen powders, facelifts, Botox, all those things, look younger, look, well, what if you could do it all naturally? Within 6 months, heart reversing in age. So as David Schmidt says, this is not anti-aging, this is age reversal. So how do you wear this patch? It's small, as you've already seen. The key thing is you could put it anywhere on your body. You'll see on there the specific acupressure points that it's been identified, because that's where the science has shown the most dormant stem cells are, and it's also where your main nerve endings are. But the reality is people have shown great results by putting it anywhere. For me, I prefer the back of my neck. A lot of ladies just underneath the navel, 2 fingers underneath there, and that's where you wear it. So you wear it for 12 hours during the day, and then you take it off to help your body to repair and rejuvenate, because you're doing it at a cellular level overnight. Key thing is plenty of clean drinking water. And clean, especially in South Africa, does not mean tap. You need water. How much? 4 sips, 3 to 4 sips every 30 minutes. Along with a new patch, you can also then use an old one. You can use more than one at a time. I'll explain to you just now. There's a few. We're focusing on one key one, which is the primary one, like the Holy Grail, as I said. There are other ones I'll share with you just now. You can use multiple patches. Here's the thing when it comes down to, yes, but what's the price? Well, as South Africans, we're pretty clever about stretching our money. So what has been shown is that there is value or efficacy in this little patch for longer than 12 hours. So you don't throw it away. What we did in our family, our dog went for a surgery on her paw, stuck it on the dog. She healed twice as quick as the vet said that she would. Absolutely amazing. Works on animals. Not so much of a placebo now, is it? Or alternatively, like what happens in my family, the wife gets it and then I get the second-hand one. So that then we get real value from that. And it just helps with the budget, because in the end, we do have a budget. So it's been shown that there is still value on it. However, do notice, if you're the one with real aches and pains or dis-ease or something out of balance that you need sorting out, if you are using one patch for 2 days, you may slow down your healing. So just be observant of that. But ask the person who invited you for the best process for you. So 90 days is the beginning part, the minimum 3 months that it's stated and shown. Why? Because for most people, 97% in fact of people within the 3-month period begin to notice either some or marked difference in the results from having worn the patch. In addition to this, it's 1 month per decade you've been alive. I'm in my 50s, so it's 3 months plus 5. Now, I've been patching for as long as that. Sean has a lot longer. So I've asked people who've been patching for a couple of years and said, but why? And they said, well, Tim, I feel younger, I feel stronger, I look better, I'm healthier, I've got more hair than I've had in decades. Why would I stop? Here's a key thing to remember as well, is that everybody's body is unique. We understand that. Some of us, or some of you, may go through a detox. My son, before he started to feel better, went through a detox because he had so many chemicals and issues inside of his body from various different reasons over the years. So ask the person before you're deciding which patch to get of what would happen if you have been gone through surgery recently, if you've had illnesses, if you've had the vaccinations, various different questions they'll take you through just to help you identify and understand that you may go through a bit of a detox before, but that's a natural part of the healing process. So that's fantastic. We've covered what is it, why do we need these stem cells, and what actually happens to us. So a key thing for me was I wanted to know about the company and this scientist. I've been around a long time. Anybody here been part of an organization, or you hear something and then results down the line, you find out it didn't work, it wasn't what they said it was, the results were fake? Does that happen to you? It's happened to me. So I wanted to know, who is this founder? Who is this David Schmidt guy? And what I uncovered was quite fascinating. First thing, he holds over 200 patents. Now, I'm going to explain what the patent is and the value and importance of that to you shortly, because I know about patents and companies holding patents, but I didn't really know more about it, so I researched it. He's a scientist and inventor, which means he's not in the pharmaceutical industry. He's also won many awards. He's got honorary doctorates. He specializes in age reversing. Now, LifeWave started out in 2008, long before anything was launched of the stem cell patch. In fact, it was actually started out for high-functioning athletes, that they can recover quicker. And there's a patch for that as well if you're an athlete. But when he discovered that there was a way back in 2008 that our bodies can naturally heal themselves, he dug in deep for 10 years of research, spending $4.5 million in bringing it to market as well. So this is not something which has just popped up quickly that suddenly come up. And if you go on Facebook, there's so many things. Get well, have this pull, lose weight. Have a look at the research. So I did. Here's an example of a patent on the screen. You can read what it says over there. Now, in the US, for these patents, he has to apply for these every 2 years. And in order to get a patent, you have to prove unquestionably that what you say is fact. He's got 200 of these. Now, I've got a computer. I can make stuff up on my computer. How do I know that that patent, which they show on the website, and it's available on the website, go to lifewave.com, and you can get all the research papers that I'm sharing and all the patents with you. So I went onto the US Patent Office to find out, are they actually registered? And yep, there it is. So that was also a good peace of mind to the credibility of the founder and the credibility of the organization. So let's have a little look about what actually happens. So these are real life results. Yep. So this is an example of a brain scan of a 77-year-old woman. It's called a topography map. On the left-hand side there, session 1, you can see the red, that's inflammation. So here there's no brain coherence. Here the lady couldn't speak. There was no function, no coordination, no real presence in her. After 3 weeks, inflammation reduced. Inflammation is the key issue of targeting for anything to do with the brain, the body, with pain and anguish and lack of semblance of a good life. Start with inflammation. reducing the inflammation, which is what the X39 does initially, or brain coherence after 6 weeks, functional, coherent conversations. And there's many testimonials, video testimonials of people as they've been videoed of their healing process going through this to actually show you. Heart age, 1 day, 5 months. The red again, inflammation on the left-hand side, no inflammation, healing. Inflammation of the back, of muscles. Now, we are light energy beings. You can take scans of a body to identify where there is pain. And this is 30 minutes. And we've got many stories of people whose pain has been reduced after a few minutes of putting the patch on. Now, if they take the patch off, the pain's going to come back because healing happens over time. But straight away, we're helping people feel a lot better. After 30 minutes, inflammation gone. Here's a horse, another animal. I shared a story of my dog, Sophie. Here's the horse. Red, inflammation reduction. Horse feels a lot better. So we're going to come through quite a bit of live testimonials with you shortly, but let's just have a look at real testimonials of real people that we know. If you have not seen the video of Poplap, Poplap's got to be the most famous dog in South Africa by now. Tens of thousands of people have seen his video of this little Dachshund. Ask the person who invited you for that video. You want to have a look at this, and you're going to go, okay, this is nothing to do with placebo. It can't be our mind. Our minds are very strong as humans. But a dog and a horse, do they really understand what a placebo is? Dr. Stacy, collagen. Amazing results of what happens naturally with the skin when the body produces more collagen for itself. This is over a year and 2 years later. How would you like that? No bacteria going into your skin to just tuck and tighten. No long-term implications or effects. Natural. Vitiligo and other diseases which people have to deal with all their lives. Now, it's not here to cure, and this patch won't cure, but what it'll do is reduce the impact on people's lifestyle. In the picture after that gent on the right-hand side, you'd never know that he had a disease and an illness and an ailment. Bell's palsy, dramatic after 3 months. How much more confidence and hope do you feel that it gives to people who have to deal with this, and now they can be functioning and normal? Have a look at skin. Sean can tell you his story. Wound healing, speeding up the wound healing. Now, a gentleman like this, at this age, not only is the wound healed, but look at his wrinkles, what I call my facial braille. Tells a story. I want to keep my stories, but quite happy to lose some of those fine lines and wrinkles, right? Wound healing, some more of it. Blood circulation. In fact, let's have a look at blood. Now, we're going to hear a testimonial later on from Ariki, who actually does live blood analysis for her business, and she'll tell you what this means. On the left-hand side there, those are the blood, looks like squashed marshmallows. On the right-hand side, that's what blood should look like. Free, that's the red blood cells. That's 10 minutes. Imagine what else is possible. Now your blood is able to circulate properly as well. Water retention reduced. Hair loss reduced. Sean's hair is lusher. Okay, I'm not quite there yet. I shaved though. Now, you think, okay, but I've got XYZ ailment. Will that help me? Ask the person who invited you here for the testimonials link tree and just do a Control F, type in whatever it is, swelling, osteoarthritis, sciatica, injury, sports injury, cartilage, whatever it is, put it in there. You're undoubtedly going to find somebody that has a real testimonial of what it's meant to them. And there are thousands of them available. Now, I also said to you that originally LifeWave didn't have the X39 for the stem cells. It was actually for athletes. And there's athletes all over the world who've been seen wearing these patches. Interesting. I'll enjoy this one. If you find a bit of research fun, go onto the LifeWave website and you'll see that on the page you can find out the research done by the Olympic Committee of 2004, where Michael Phelps, I don't know if you would remember this, but the American swimming team creamed all the gold medals. And the Olympic Committee said, you're drugging. This patch is doing something. the papers and the results of that research that they did is available for you on the website. Let's put it this way. They got all their medals back, absolutely nothing found because it's natural. And that to me was also a massive thing as well. So if you're into sports and you're very high active, then energy enhancer is one that you'll do as an addition to the X39. This is at info.com as well. Ask the person who invited you to share that website with you. There's a lot of testimonials. There's doctors. You can see the patents. There's doctors' discussions. There's panel discussions. There's a lot. Now, X39 is the foundation patch. It is the holy grail. It is the main one. Everybody, X39, that's where you go. But there are other patches as well. Aeon, also known as the happy patch, helps to reduce inflammation. So what you may find is being recommended to start on the Aeon for a few weeks, reduce the inflammation, then add the X39 in addition to the Aeon, so the X39 gets to activate quicker because our bodies are going to do a lot of healing internally. And if you're going to go through some detox, it may just help that process too. Now, there's other patches, performance. There's ones for pain. Ooh, there's people who swear by the pain patch, LifeWave. Phenomenal patch. I haven't had to use it, but the stories I know have been amazing. So you can see there's a lot of very specific ones here for very specific requirements. Get back to the person who invited you. Tell them what your ailments are, what your concerns are, and start with X39 and add on what are called support sleeves. So, Tim, this sounds all remarkable, and it sounds expensive. Okay, so let's put this into context here and maybe a little bit of a change of a paradigm of thinking about value versus cost. The cost is what you've been incurring all along that brought you here. In other words, the cost of your pain, the cost that your knees aren't working, that if you've got grandkids or kids, you can't pick them up, the cost that you've had to stop doing exercise and running if that was your thing because now your joints and aches and pains are just too much. That is the cost. The cost continues if you don't do something different. And for many people that we help, pharmaceutical industries has let them down. Doctors has let them down. They've got complications because of medication that has let them down. Continue the way that you are. That's the cost. Stem cell injections is another cost. Now, this is known, and I said to you that the doctors at the beginning said stem cells are the future of medicine. And for majority of people, they know it is an injection. Well, here, we're not talking about that. Why? First of all, that cost is astronomical, $10,000. Thank you very much just to start, with a 50% chance of it actually working. And also targets an area or an issue, not holistically, whether these patches deal holistically, entire body. Exciting, right? Okay, so where are we going with this? Retail price, $149.95. It's all dollar-based, comes from America. So retail is around 3,200 plus minus rands. Other patches, which are the support sleeves, are slightly less. But here's the thing. If you can get access for a cheaper, in other words, direct from LifeWave, and I always say to people, I don't sell patches. LifeWave sells them. I promote it because I truly believe in this. I told you my story of my son earlier on, and many more stories as well. Why would you want to get it at retail when you can get it at wholesale? $99. That's going to be the base start, or the other patches, and the more you buy, the cheaper the price. That's where it goes. Oh, 30-day money-back guarantee. Thank you very much. Okay, no problem. So start with an enrollment kit. Now, the reason for the enrollment kits is to help people get access to the product at the best possible price. So if you're a family, you're going to start on the advanced because you get 6 sleeves. You can mix it up and change it. So if you want Aeon, for example, for the inflammation in the beginning, you'll have then maybe 4 sleeves of the X39. And as a bonus for the beginning, you can actually then change one of those sleeves for 2 of the support sleeves. So you get 2 Aeon or 2 of the LifeWave for the pain if you want as well. So start if you're a family with the advanced package, because you're also getting the annual subscription fee, which is the $25 thrown in for free. And it's a lot cheaper that way. Budget-wise, if you are slightly tighter, because I understand that you need your money to stretch a bit longer, then core is where you're going to go. You've got 3 sleeves and you can change that up as well. So what's next for you? Well, you can register as a retail customer if you like to spend more money. Absolutely no problem, your choice. But why not join as a preferred customer? Do you have to do what I'm doing and invite people and speak to people? No. This is patch first. Find out what it means to you. Just like I didn't do anything until I found out what it was doing to my son. So join, register, get the patches. If you want to become a brand partner, the person who invited you here will help you create a profile online. Tick, tick, 15 minutes, get it ordered, delivered to your house wherever you are in South Africa and many other countries around the world. I think over 80 countries around the world. Get it delivered on courier between 2 to 3 days. Absolutely no problem. The choice is yours. And as David Schmidt says there, you can read on the screen there. This is about mental, emotional, spiritual. And there's another area I'm going to throw in as well. It's also about financial. Why? Health and wealth are without doubt connected. They are connected. It was Zig Ziglar who said many, many years ago, where he said, money only comes second in life to oxygen. We have a need for it. So a lot of people who I've helped get patched say, well, if I'm going to continue to put this amount of money, $99, which is about 2,200 Rand, if you're looking at it in Rand's capacities, every single month. My question is, well, do you want to take the money from your pocket every month, or would you like LifeWave to pay for it for you? So very quickly, and please hang around for the testimonials, I'm just going to jump on what it would mean if you do look at it as a business. So the key thing here at the beginning was that it's founded in 2004. I've mentioned a couple of these things already. The turnover of the company is growing astronomically after the whole COVID pandemic and with the introduction of the X39. Why? Because the product works. The company is being recognized internationally in the network marketing or relationship marketing sphere for their growth, for the stability, for their recognition, for the science around the world. So the company works on network marketing model, which is done on what's called a binary. Now, I'm not going to go into that detail right now. Effectively, you're building a left and a right team. One of the teams is supported by your upline, the people who are part of your organization, and that means working together. I'm an entrepreneur. Sean's an entrepreneur. There's many others, and it's a very lonely place when you're out there trying to figure out everything for yourself. Well, here we've got a system that you plug into. Very simple. We do these presentations every Tuesday evening so that you can just say to people, hey, I've seen something interesting that'll going to help with your health. I know you struggle with X, Y, Z. Come and meet some guys. They're going to explain it for you. I'm still figuring it out. That's what it means by being the team. And you've all read that number on the screen there already. Earn up to $25,000 a week. A week. It's been done by multiple people in South Africa. We'd love for you to meet them. And that's one of 4 different income streams. Is it financially worth it? From my perspective, that's why I'm here. Time, freedom, security, travel. What is your why? What are you not able to live for in your life because you're restricted by your income? So what if there was a way that you could grow an additional income while you're feeling healthier and happier, and at the same time help others as well? So to end off, and I'm going to hand you back over to Sean, the question at the beginning was, have you been patched yet? My question I'm going to leave you with is, what is stopping you from getting patched? So it's great speaking to you all. Thank you very much. And if you're listening to this on a recording, please do get back to the person who invited you here. Help them answer those questions that you have, if I haven't covered it already, and let's see how we can help you get patched. Sean.
Fantastic, Tim. Thank you very much. Wasn't that enlightening? Ladies and gents, thank you very much, Tim. That was an incredible presentation. Really enjoyed it. So what I'd like to do now, just very quickly, guys, is hand over to 2 ladies. If we could start with Mariki, if you could just please give us just who you are, where you come from, and what your experience has been. That would be great.
Oh, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity. And yes, it's really a privilege to be with you guys. Well, I'm situated here in Polokwane, and I'm a live blood and natural health therapist, and I do blood analysis. So one of my clients, which was Rwanda, you all know Rwanda, she introduced me to this patch idea. And at first, like Tim also saying, I was not really interested in, oh, what's this now gonna do? Because there is so many people that I've heard also from that is patching and very bad experiences. Obviously, later on I realized that it was really fake products that's also floating around. So, but I, I saw what it did for Rwanda because Rwanda came to me very much in pain and almost non-functional. And um, after a while, after many treatments, um, she didn't come anymore. And one day she pitched up here unannounced, and was quite surprised to see her again. And she said, "Come, look at my blood. Let me show you what happened with me." And there I saw the difference because I take pictures from the first analysis, and then I keep it here on my computer so that I can compare it and see how the body is improving with all kinds of treatments that I do. So I was stunned to see what amazing results she had with this patching. And well, then I started to be interested in it, and well, I'm selling it now to a few of my customers or my patients here. And they are, today I saw a lady that she was also very reluctant. I sat on a quite a few weeks to try to try out the X39 patch. And she said no, she's not interested. And after many sufferings and many treatments, I asked her again, please, why don't you just try it? What if it works for you? Just try it. So she bought the patches, and you won't believe it. It lied here about 2 weeks before she picked it up, even. So then eventually I patched her when she came in to get the patches. I helped her and I showed her how it works and everything. And off she went. And after now, it was now a week. She came back today, and I did a blood test again. And I was stunned again about how much change and how much inflammation went out of her body, and she feels so much better. She also, she's about 72 years old, and she couldn't really, she got on the bed, but she's a shortish lady, and she's a bit, well, she's 72. She's not so mobile as a 40-year-old. But after the treatment that I gave her, she just hopped off the bed like a young girl.
Spring
She
chicken.
just hopped off, and I smiled and I said to her, "Look at that now." And she said, "Yeah, I can't tell you how much better I feel." And that is after a week. So I am so excited
Wow.
to see what her journey is going to look like after a month's time. So
Fantastic.
yeah.
Mariki, thank you very much for that testimonial. That's awesome. And that's, ladies and gents, from a person who is a healthcare professional. So, and then I'd like to hand over to another young lady who's been patching for quite a short time, but has also had some fantastic results. Sam, if you would give us just a couple of minutes of your experience, would be great.
Cool, thanks, Sean. Hi, everyone. So I've also only been patching for about a month now, and my problem was lower back problems going into my leg with sciatica. I've been to chiros, physios, doctors. They put me on painkillers, anti-inflammatory pills. They wanted to do an operation on my back because I've got a slight curve in my spine. And nothing seemed to have helped. So Sean had put something on Facebook with regards to a patch, and I contacted him and asked him about the patch. And at this stage, I was willing to try anything, and it was an affordable product as well. And I tried it, and within 4 days, my lower back pain was gone. I still had a slight niggle on one point, but the pain, the heaviness had really, really gone, which was amazing. So I was able to start walking again, and I haven't started running yet, but I'll get there. In the meantime, I have bought the advanced package, and I'm now trying out all of them. And I have to say, yesterday, I put the glutathione and the LifeWave on. And I have to say that little niggly spot is slowly starting to feel a lot better. So that's my story. And then I don't know if I can share the other story with regards to my cousin.
Yes, please, Sam. Yes, please.
Yes, so we've had a phenomenal result with my cousin. He's got autistic kids. And we started patching the little ones, and the older child, which is about 5 or 6, he's actually coming to his mom now and actually asking to have the patch put on. He's a completely changed kid, and he's only been on it for about a week and a half. And this kid, where his little brother's 2 years old, and where he was crying and screaming, the little 6-year-old used to run to his room and slam the door, and he couldn't handle the noise. And now he literally goes to his brother and looks at him and walks away, and he's laughing and giggling. So he's a completely different child. So that was quite an amazing story from my cousin.
But quite incredible stories, ladies and gents. And that's on a panel here. There were 12 people on here. And I can tell you now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 almost life-changing stories. We haven't got enough time for Rwanda. If you come back next week, we'll have Rwanda give her testimonial. Kent and Kent's wife, Brenda, their testimonial. Guys, the testimonials are phenomenal. And the more we hear of this, the more I believe, and I know Tim feels the same, and Kent and Mariki and Sam, that the more we have to get this out there, because it really does change people's lives. So I urge you, get back to the person who brought you along, get patched, start feeling healthy, and then find out how you can give that opportunity to others and change some other people's lives. Have a wonderful evening, ladies and gents. There's no questions. So, Tim, it's obviously you did a phenomenal job. So,
well, are there any questions? No, thank you, Elsa. Wonderful to have you here. Are there any questions? We do have a few minutes. I don't know if you want to stop the recording, Sean.
Let's stop.